Okay, you had just come out of the Lost Spire of Netheril and bumped into a pack of gnolls. The gnolls look like everything else, emaciated and starving, and they'd bowed to you and proclaimed that you were the saviours that had been prophesied to come and save the tribe. And you had decided that indeed you were going to do that, but you hadn't had a rest. So this is where we pick up from where you left off. They've marked Cackling Chasm on the map for you.
Well, I think we definitely need to have a rest, and then we should press on to Cackling Chasm and find out what the hell to do there.
Right, you also said that you wanted the gnolls to come with you. However, you'll be reduced to their walking speed rather than your sleigh speed. That is fine if you wish to.
How long will it take out there?
You're looking at, because the last part, you can cut round the mountain. It looks like it's going to be a journey of about 20 miles.
Yeah, we'll go.
So we sleeping first or what?
So what kind of rest are you planning on taking?
Probably a long one, because I've got the feeling soon get there's going to kick off.
This is true.
Especially the way the DM chuckling on the pier there. Ooh, ha, 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 ha.
Dave, I quite frankly, I resemble that remark. So you put the tent up around the sled. The gnolls will put their pearly tent up. And although they eye you hungrily, they don't make any nasty moves towards you.
Have we got any spare meat?
Nobody, including the DM, is sure how many parcels of frozen stew Andy actually has scribbled about his person and hidden on the sled.
I'll see if we've got enough.
It's not a number that is revealed to anyone.
We will give them some food.
You got 58 pounds of raw meat on the sled if you have a look in the parcel.
How many of them is there?
There are 6 of them.
We'll give them 6 pounds of meat.
Gratefully, they begin tearing into it, not even waiting for it to be defrosted, because gnolls are like that. They are eaters. There's also a bunch of portions which are on the sled. I didn't know if anybody wanted to actually take any of them, or whether you're just going to leave them in the magical chest.
Yeah, we'll leave them in our magical chest.
So the gnolls tear hungry into them, and you spend yet one more night of peaceful rest. So what I'm going to do is advance the calendar. I love doing that, mate. It's the 27th of Hammer now, and we're going to feed the dogs, and if you could all consume a ration, please. And it's 8 pounds of raw meat, so we're down to 46 pounds of meat.
I'm not carrying that much by way of food and meat. I'm mainly, I seem to have pelts about me person.
I thought you'd filled your wellies up with stew, I'm not going to lie. Because you're immune to the effect of cold now, you could just squelch along in cold stew.
No, it's all right. All right, yeah.
Okay, so you all eat, yes, and we've fed the dogs, and you push on at a very slow speed.
Oh, I've got them on.
Of 1 mile.
Slow, can't Andy forage?
He can if somebody else wants to drive the sled, and Andy can forage about. To be honest, though, I know it says he can forage, but I don't really know what you would forage in the middle of an Arctic tundra.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Arctic hares.
Aye, Arctic hares, voles, lichen. There's a particular sort of pine tree you can eat.
Frozen deer.
Carrion.
Yes, lovely. Sounds like a delightful meal. So you move.
Kill stew.
Well, we've got a few Duga on ice, haven't we? What do you call it?
Also, Tracy and Andy, your small pets now will follow you about and obey simple commands because you've had them for several weeks. Your fox and your hare.
Awesome.
Right, so do you want to plot 8 miles worth of movement for the day, Andy, as you are just slowly trudging along with the gnolls?
I'll have my bat out and about overhead, keep an eye out.
Where we're going, to the Cackling Chasm?
Yes.
Yep.
Right, 8 miles, you reckon? Right, hang on.
And I help Andy guide.
Awesome. So you head in a straight line 8 miles crossing the frozen river.
Yeah.
You get about 6 miles through the snow, and then opening up his GM screen, you roll on the weather table. And the snow comes in quite heavy. It's not quite blizzard conditions, but the temperature drops and the snow comes in. And then Andy's scouting ahead. Dave, your bat sees it as well. You see a figure leaning on a walking stick, shuffling towards you through the snow.
I've got somebody in the walk heading towards lads. I tell the others.
I think we're probably safe.
I don't know, it's a bit sus that, like.
Nah, it's just out for a wander.
We all heard those stories about people bumping into gods and, not being nice to them and get cursed and all that.
Yes, so this guy goes around just randomly bumping into adventurers, so he gets shit. I know what it is. Oh, well, then let's go and see who he is.
So Andy, as you're out front, you'll spot this first. The figure slowly holding onto a stick with both hands limps towards you, and because you don't have dark vision, and so he gets closer than Dave's bat would see, you realise that he has ragged cold weather clothing, but the hood is not up. And as he gets about 30 feet away, you realise that it's the guy that you chased into the snow, Mr. Lake. He limps towards you.
Hail and well met, Mr. Lake. Just stop there if you don't mind.
And
Can people remind him of this Mr. Lake? Because I've forgotten about.
Does anybody remember? Andy, do you remember?
No.
Was it the guy from the caravan?
It'll come to me.
He was the one who had clawed his own eyes out and ran out into the snow when Sefik had been killed. He was the one that
Oriole's little
caller.
Yeah.
And so, Andy, how far away from the actual sled are you? Just a little bit away.
We're all moving at sort of walking pace.
Yeah, you're all moving at walking pace. The gnolls, although normally they're quite fast, seem to be malnourished and are not moving in a particularly fast pace.
They're hanging back, the bloody cowards.
No, I mean just the general movement pace.
Oh, right. I don't know, 100 feet, maybe.
That far ahead, okay.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be so far ahead.
Well, I've got a bow and arrow out.
It's true. So he's about 30 feet away, so as you can see through the semi-darkness.
I'll ask him to stop, and I'll stop.
And as he approaches, you stop and call out. And then he opens his eyes, and you realise that he has nothing in the eye sockets, and his face is all cut where he clawed. And he lets out the most awful wail. On his forehead is branded the six-pointed snowflake of the Frost Maiden. And as he opens his eyelids, beams of bright light shine out all around him.
I shout.
And he lets out a horrific wail as he comes towards you.
I shout.
I'm just setting up the map.
As soon as you mentioned that brand, I thought that's a decent target.
I think you're doing better off dash back to
Right, so, I was just about to delete all that. Whoops.
There used to be an avatar till he took an arrow to the knee.
He did. So what I'm going to do is call for some initiatives. And you get a free shot because you had your bow out ready to shoot. And
right. Guess who's got the crap initiative this week?
Me.
Right, there we go. So, yes, I'm just going to reveal and describe him to you. The two beams of light, like torches, beam out from his lidless eyes, and he begins to shed bright light in a 20-foot radius. The rest of the guys far away can actually see this.
Sorry, is it bright enough for them to say something?
Yeah, he's actually emitting bright light. As you can see on the map.
Give us a second while I right-size this map a bit so I can say what I'm doing. Right, hang on.
Mr. Lake shuffles towards you, letting out an awful, noise from his mouth.
Mr. Lake is going to find he's got, I reckon, him in a minute. I'll get the bloody combat tracker up and that's it.
Right. Please go ahead.
Right, I'm just trying to check whether
Andy had chased him off into the snow and he just literally disappeared. His footprints had ended.
Oh, that's right.
He had disappeared from sight.
Do I have him targeted?
This is the question of the ages. I believe you do.
Right, and all my hunter's marky things and whatnot are on. That should be. Yes, they appear to be. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll do the usual then. I'll have the bonus action first.
You have so many effects, Andy. So many effects.
I know, it's good, isn't it? Right.
You've got Colossus Slayer on yet. You need to put Tosser's Mark. You need to put your Tosser's Mark on yourself.
Right, hold on.
Because it is worn off because you've had a long rest.
Now I can't untarget it. Oh, wait a minute. I know why.
You can just drag the effect on yourself.
You God, that's technical. Right, hold on. Right, it's on to me. Right, that's that done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, champion.
And then let loose with an arrow.
Yeah, it is.
Right, the arrow thunks into it. The arrow sticks in its shoulder and it doesn't seem to notice as it lurches forward. And now we go into combat. So first up, Lantesh, you see...
do I get any movement this turn?
No, it was just a case of you'd stopped and fired as he'd lurched towards you.
Right, I'm also... Didn't you say it's a free action to shout?
Yes.
Right, I shall shout something to the rest of the party, like help, or words to that effect.
Help, Lantesh. So you hear this. You're up first.
How far away am I? Because it's
Andy said
within
he was
120
about,
feet.
Andy said he was about 100 feet ahead of you. So are you leaping out of the...
I'm moving
Thread.
25 feet forward.
Yeah,
So I'll probably be within the 120 feet to target him, yeah?
yeah.
And I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Okay. You blast it with your firebolt. Zips across and
Right.
burn away some of its clothes.
That's my...
Okay, next up we have Bob, who's with the sled, and then Ben. And he has called for help.
I shall move forward,
And then we've got Dazan's Simulacrum.
and I shall try and chromatic orb.
It
Did we
hits.
get Dazan to memorise spells at the spell with all the rest?
Which ones?
You know the other spell that Tracy's got?
Right, you blast the cold light water. Is that your turn, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up we have Sanwin.
Bernie!
So many things in the combat trap. Does my dude go last? Yeah, my dude is last in the initiative again. Awesome. With a 5. Well, he's not going to get far, is he? So you move and then shoot. What range has your spell got? 120. Right, you unload into this creature. Bits of it start to melt and drop off. And then it's Corin's turn once more.
I think it might be a good idea for you to move back.
I was just going to say, the first thing I'm going to do is... Oh, right, hang on. Yeah, I shall move back to there.
Yeah.
And then I shall shoot again.
I'm just hoping it doesn't have a corner attack.
Right, again, arrows thunk into it, and the thing just lets out that terrifying howl. Is that your turn?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Finally, Aisha.
I move forward slightly so I'm within range.
And you cast Bless on all.
Oh, do behave.
Sorry.
And I cast Toll the Dead at him.
What range is that?
60.
Oh, nice. It hits. You do a D12. Right. It takes it. Bits of its body falls off. Is that everything?
Yes.
Right, the creature moves forward, and then it shines those bright beams upon you. And
I thought it might. I may be tempted to shut my eyes. This is going to hurt. Yeah, pretty much.
no, that was the.
Yes.
I dropped it on the wrong person. That's all right, Andy. You succeed. So
Oh.
it doesn't actually do anything to you. So you managed to whip your head to the side, and then it opens its mouth and goes, oh, and cold air blasts out.
Lovely.
Oh, baby, I love the way.
Which then misses.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. That was absolutely no point to this encounter then. So, Lantesh, you see this thing spit cold at Andy and shine its strange light.
All right, I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Okay.
Make him stand still while I kill him.
Right. It fails. However, it's not a humanoid.
All right, okay.
So, is there anything else you wish to do?
No, I'll stand my ground and I'll... he's decent range now. So, what does he look like?
He looks like...
A bit like the guys that we've got, like undeadish.
Yes, kind of. He's got grey skin, but he's got the mark of the Frost Maiden on his forehead and bright light shine out of his empty eye sockets. Ben.
And I'll let him have another chromatic orb.
A lovely spell when you use it, Dave.
Hits.
This is going to hurt.
It is. Right, so as you fire, it's a fire spell, so it bursts into flames and collapses to the ground, screaming all the while, the light shining out of its eyes.
If you'll forgive me for breaking the fourth wall for a moment, Corin looks up into the air and goes, Mr. DM, can I skin it? Sorry.
Sadly, you can.
No,
I'm not even going to watch that.
No, I'm not skinning that. I've got me limits.
You have got your limit, so yeah. So it looks, the light still shine out of its eyes, although it seems to be dimming somewhat. But Mr. Lake, now you know what became of him. Apparently a creature of the Frost Maiden.
When the light goes out, we'll have a search.
Yeah, and I shall say if I can retrieve me arrows. That's what I've got the staff for poking things to see if they're dead.
You poke it to see if it's dead. It has just scraps of cold weather clothing on it. The pockets remain empty and is just old gnarled walking stick. Which appears to be just an old gnarled walking stick.
Well, on the one hand, that was interesting because that answers a question of what happened to him. But what happened to him? What did he become? And is it significant? I ask the assembled crowd.
The gnolls just laugh. Although they are cowering at the back. Well, is anything significant around here?
Yeah, let's have a look around.
Right, so you search around for a little while, but you're literally out in the tundra. There's nothing apparently You follow his footprints back for a few hundred yards, and they just seem to appear and then head in a straight line for you.
Almost as though he was sent by the Frost Maiden and he was standing leaning on his walking stick waiting for us to arrive.
Yes, almost and he made a beeline, almost as if you may have upset her, and now this time it's
What have we
personal.
done?
I think we've got the Frost Maiden's attention, especially when we rescued one of the bloody sacrifices.
We haven't even started getting her attention.
Oh, I know
yet.
that. I know
Oh
that.
yeah, you nicked one of our sacrifices, El. You know how much God's love that. So that
I
short
still remember that Golgotha incident in Hard.
incident, the rest of the night passes without error or any kind of danger as you spend another long night in your tent, which is 25. So you can't feel your cold tests when you're in the tent currently. As much as I hate to do it, you get a long rest. We advance the calendar. Feed the dogs.
Take a ration.
If you want to eat, yeah.
I will may as well.
The Knolls look on pitifully.
Give the Knolls a pound of meat each.
Yeah, so you down to 32 pounds of raw meat, 14 rations in the
Wrong thing. Never mind.
and eating your dried fish unless Corin's got a bunch of stew. You can then head off another 8 miles the next day.
Sorry, I'm just taking some of me rations that I'd put on the sleigh back out just to top them up to about 10 rations on
That is fine. The weather clears up and it's clear skies today, so
lovely.
it's as comparatively balmy as it can possibly be.
Right, so how far do we move today?
8 miles.
8 miles. Right, hang on.
Still no random encounters. You're skirting around that mountain there.
Yep.
The Knolls are like, almost home tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And spending another cold night out on the tundra. Nothing else seems to attack you or is untoward. And you wake up the next morning refreshed and head to the Cackling Chasm.
Shall I
That was
move
the
us
wrong
to the
chart.
Cackling Chasm?
Yes, if you would care to move it to the Cackling Chasm. I am just doing the GM things for the day. 5 miles, so a short walk.
There we go then.
Wow, okay. You are the luckiest people ever. You've got another day, so you need to nosh a ration, and you arrive at the Chasm.
There we
The Knoll leader says, just get in there. A yawning chasm ahead of you threatens to devour you as if it were a giant icy maw. The wind sweeping through the mountains can't drown out the inhuman cackling that echoes in the chasm's depths. As you approach the chasm from, I'm not entirely sure where. The side, I think. Let's throw you just randomly on the map. So who's doing what? Because you've got bats, you've got mummies, you've got Dazan.
Just casting me mage armor.
That is fine. Who is doing what for the day?
resume. Bob's guarding the sled.
Bob is still guarding the sled. Is Dazan coming with you?
Yeah, we'll best bring Desan, but we'll bring Crintus with us as well.
Do you want a list of what the spells were in that other book?
It's in your character sheet, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Dazan's happy. He's like, finally, I get to cast again. I can't wait.
I leave my back to scout.
Asterisk spellbook. Common language, detect magic, expeditious retreat, shield, tensor floating disc, alter self, clouded dagger, scorching ray suggestion. So pretty awful ones, to be honest.
Well, I haven't managed to copy mine into it. I've copied those into mine, but I haven't had the time to copy mine into it. I don't think I would have. I need some more ink.
So as you
Yeah,
look
cool.
over the chasm, you approach the edge. I'm not entirely sure what you can see from here as a player.
Not a lot.
Right, so the Knoll says the south end leading down to the cave. The GM goes, oh shit, I've put you on the map in the wrong place. So there's this massive maw effectively ahead of you.
Right.
The GM frantically drags your tokens about and puts them in the right place once more. As he has Knolled this up, hasn't he? Design is like, there's not even any room for me. We've got so many characters and NPCs and pets and fucking familiars. And right, so can you see yourselves? You're at the south end of the chasm, and there is a stairs leading down to a cave ahead of you.
I can see myself, Lantesh, and Ben, but that's it.
I can see Lantesh, Ben, and Dish.
Are we getting black screens or not?
No.
Okay.
I
Good.
can see Corin and Ben.
Okay.
I can
can't
see
see.
Deidre now Lorraine's gone.
There you go. So this basically the Knoll says, down here. This is the cavern.
Ask them to lead the way.
Okay. There are two guard Knolls on the staircase, but he barks something, and they look at you and they step back and bow their heads. and he walks down the steps into the cavern ahead.
I presume that's sort of northeast from where we are.
Yes. Who's going in first? Oh,
I'll go in first.
right, I'll move you into the entrance then, Corin.
Right.
Why, honestly, this map thing.
I appear to be standing on sandwich.
Yes, I'm going to have to drag you into the caves.
Right.
You won't go over the threshold for some bloody reason.
Because we're not daft, that's why.
There, can you see the cave now?
Yeah. Well, when you say the cave.
I should be able to see inside, with me dark vision, but I can't for the odd reason.
I have placed you in the cave, Andy.
Hang on, let's see if this makes a difference. Oops.
So Corin lights his little helmet candle and creeps inside. Inside, Andy, crude steps lead down to a frigid 10-foot cave. High cave filled with putrid stench. The mostly broken bones of humanoids and animals lay scattered on the floor amid bits of metal and torn strips of leather. There are
I like the way you've got the place.
The two gnolls guards have stepped to one side. Corin disappears down the tunnel. There are no sounds of eating things, but if there were, you wouldn't be sure if they were the gnolls or Corin, to be fair.
I'll follow after him.
Yeah, I'll head down as well.
Right, so you step down as a desperate... Like, when they're drawn maps, they should just leave, a 4 or 5 squares on the outside of the map. Because now...
Yeah, it's set to one.
It's like...
Yeah, I'll step down as well.
Trying to drag everybody into the cave. Because it's a little narrow map as well. That's not helping. I'm just going to chuck everybody in that I can for now.
You appear to be missing Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to drag them in. I need, maybe an 80-inch TV to DM on. I think that's what I need to be sorting out. And Kriska is, where is he? Oh, Krintas, there you are. Right, so you descend into this chamber, and exit leads out to the east. To the northwest and the northeast.
Well, since them two gnolls is leading the way, surely they should point we're in the right direction.
Yeah, you can see to the north there's some kind of altar there with 4 gnolls, but he leads you out onto the jagged ice cliffs and says, careful of step, as he leads you onto the jagged ice cliffs outside. Which doesn't look terrifying at all.
I wanted to know what was going on down in that where the altar was, up there. I'm a bit suspicious.
Do you want to go and have a look through the door?
I'll have a poke up and have a look to see what's going on before I come up here, and then let these know what's going on. I'm a bit suspicious.
Oh, there's little snow doors. I can see little snow doors, and there's a big cavern. So the icy, you all cluster around the icy rim of the yawning cavern, and Lantesh has a look in. There's a crude stone altar with a mountain goat's bloody head resting atop it, dominating an 8-foot high cave, and the floor around the altar is littered with gnawed animal bones. There are 4 gnolls kneeling at this crude altar, and one of your gnoll escorts comes in and barks something to them as you have a look into this room. As you can see, there's blood everywhere.
Can I cast comprehend languages?
Is it a ritual or is it
It's a ritual. I know you're here, don't you?
No, it's not that. It's just it'll take 10 minutes.
Oh, right, okay. I'll leave it then.
I think, can you memorize it, or is it only a ritual now? I'm not sure.
No, I think you can memorize.
Yeah, so you can just cast it like
yeah, but I don't want to take up a slot because I might need it again.
That is fine if you want to take 10 minutes to cast it, but
I might if we need.
Are you just going to hurry back off?
Yeah, I'll just tell them what I've seen down there.
There's a little snow door look next to Tracy. That's why you couldn't look outside. So you have to edge your way around the cavern all the way around to get to the other side. He points at a snow door, which is on the opposite side of this precarious and dangerous cavern.
I presume it's like this, is it?
Yes. So you sneak on the cavern. He points over to there.
Right.
He points over to. He points to there and says, Chiska will be there. Chiska leads badly. He claims he is descended from Tekali.
I'll look at this gnoll and go, and how the blade now are we meant to get across there?
Go round, don't slip. Very, very big fall. 30 feet below the surface, a shelf of rocks surrounds the chasm gate and more. Its cracked sides riddled with caves and festooned with sharp rocks. Further down in the chasm, you see dead gnolls impaled on some of those fang-like protrusions. Manic laughter echoes throughout the chasm as you look around, the sound ricocheting off the walls that make its origin impossible to pinpoint. He points down, he goes, "Them not careful," points at the ones impaled on the bottom.
Right, after he does this, I'm going to take a moment and cast cast spider guy. I'm not taking any chances here.
Right, so I think you can, Corin maybe can work out who can say what. Are you following Corin round?
Yeah.
As you come round, on the opposite side of the chasm, you see a large metal cage, and within the cage is quite the disturbing sight, and you've seen a few of those now. Atop the ledge is a cage made of thick timber beams with a bolted iron door and iron fittings. The cage is 5 feet per side and 7 feet tall. Inside it, a male human in hide armor paces back and forth.
I'll shout. All right, Dave, what you doing
Hold on,
there?
hold on.
Oh, sorry.
His eyes are pure black, and his skin is pale grey, and crisscrossing the entire surface of his skin is the black veins that you recognise when you had the Chardlin poisoning ill. But this guy, it covers his entire body. He's frothing at the mouth. And he keeps banging on the door and growling.
I'll catch up with the rest of you.
I'll turn around the knoll and go, where did you find him?
Him come with others, come attack. We managed to get him in cage, and we wait for him to die so that we can consume him.
Oh, I wouldn't eat that. That's bad meat, that is.
He says, all meat, good meat.
Oh,
Whereabouts
I
to the
wouldn't
head
do that.
up north?
So it's opposite. So basically,
I
you
can see that.
carefully edge your way around the chasm to end up on the other side here, and he advises you to move past the cage without disturbing. But as you get close to him, not only if you can imagine a crazy Hulk-like figure banging against the cage, frothing at the mouth, completely all eyes completely black, covered in this Chardlin crisscrossing web. You see that burned into his chest is the six-pointed snowflake of Oral, and other than his raggy clothes, he has a large metal ring that takes up most of his middle finger, and on that ring is also the six-pointed snowflake of Oral. It stands out because of the craftsmanship. It's not like a crude piece of metal. It's huge, and it's one of those rings that comes over like the middle knuckle joint, so it comes halfway down his finger. And then, Corin, you head round and look into the cave. The door opens, and a strong scent of dirty fur fills this dark 10-foot-high cave. And there's deep ridges where hundreds of claws' feet have scratched it. A gaunt, shivering gnolls huddling around a sputtering fire, cackling incessantly. 6 of them, in fact. And right. he indicates to go inside.
Well, I shall go inside then.
So the rest of you follow in as you follow around the Berserker cave, or do you do anything else?
Not for Corin.
Yeah,
Greetings, lads.
Again, the gnolls look as if they're going to leap to their feet, but a short word from the gnoll, who appears to be some kind of subordinate leader, quiets him. And then he says, I summon Chiska. To the north is another small cave, and it smells bad, and you can see up there that it looks like there's crates and sacks torn open, lying in what is mostly an empty larder.
I'm presuming Chiska's a gnoll.
Presumption's a very bad idea in my experience, which means probably going to turn out to be a dark something.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to show NPCs. You're in a room full of them, obviously.
I don't like this.
Well, I'm not kind either, I'll be fair.
The gnolls back up against the wall and bow their heads to you.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the one nearest the door, keeps looking at you. The ugly blue baby eye patch one.
I wonder if they're bowing because you know how people bow to the
food.
Food. I'm just thinking we're on the menu. I can't help but feel that.
So ugly baby blue eye patch goes out, and a minute or so later comes in to Chiska. Comes in with Chiska, the Null Fang of Yenigu, and he is quite the badass looking fellow. Of the gnolls you see, he's bigger and stronger, and he looks, well, just better fed, to be honest. And he comes into the room and sees all of these gnolls backed up against the wall. And he's decorated with many trinkets of glass and teeth and things like that. He says, why you bring these food here? I'm Chiska. I am descendant of Tekeli.
I'd stop right there, mate, if I was you. Boo. Who you calling food?
In his defence, all your best friends are.
And he looks around at his gnolls and says, oh, the dame hasn't clicked sure. You bring food before me, not dead. The gnolls all look sheepish, or hyena-ish, rather. Well, Earl backs up.
Something to do with a prophecy, I'm told. Nothing to do with the menu.
He looks around and says, what prophecy is this? I am Chiska. I speak for the plan. I speak for the clan. I descendant of Tekeli. Because he's speaking in bad common and barking in hyenish.
Your people want you gone. You're a despot, and you shall leave this place and be gone to the ice, or you will be slain.
He says, You cannot speak to me. I'm descendant of the pure bloodline. I command this pack.
Lily, I know.
I command this pack. I command you all, fall upon the food, kill it, and let us eat it all.
Just before we do that, you might want to have a word with that other fella out there, that other Knoll. He was the one that told us that there was a prophecy and we ought to come and see you. That's why we're here, not as the main course. So if he seems to know about the prophecy that you don't know about as leader of the tribe, are you sure you're leader of the tribe?
He says, yes. I command you all, kill them. Kill them, take them to the food pens. And all of the Knolls, apart from the one at the back, bow. And he spits and goes, I will do it myself. And he elbows the other one out of the room. And he says, let the beast free, as the Knoll disappears around the corner. And then he leaps for Corin, who's closest.
That's fine. I'm pulling my short sword in before he starts moving.
The big great.
The other Knolls back up and do not seem to want to take part in any combat with Chisgan. So he initially claws at you, Andy. His dirty, dirty claws. Hitting as it bites through your armour.
That's not on.
Doing a little bit of damage. And then he bends forward and the terrible bite, the horrible dog breath, hits. Your hunter's marks come off because you have lost concentration, and then you have to make a constitution save because of the dirty. You don't take any additional damage. As he draws blood, he bursts into his barking laugh.
Do I get a chance to do anything to him then?
Yes, we are going to roll for some initiatives, and I'm hopefully going to roll better than last time, as the Knolls are not that interested, to be fair. Okay, Dave, we've got the bat.
He's stick the ceiling.
So he's out of the way, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got the bat. It's a shame. Corin is next.
Right, can I use my bonus action to put my hunter's mark back up?
You can, yes.
Right.
Because it uses
So
a
hang on.
spell slot as well. So, yeah. So you put your tosser's mark on him and you put your hunter's mark on yourself.
Yeah, right. Well, look, I shall just target him, get the character sheet back, and put my tosser's mark on him, and then I'm going to have to stick a short sword in him.
That seems eminently sensible. He has attacked you.
Or not. Right. Well, that's all I can do this turn, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Right. Well,
So you slash at him, but he seems quicker than the average hyena and steps out of the way. Krintas can't get past the fire or you to get him. Lantesha, it's your turn.
They're humanoid, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
I
going to
think
cast
they are.
Tasha's on him.
They are humanoid, yes. You cast Tasha's hideous laughter
On
on a hyena. Isn't that
Krintas.
kind of like selling ice lollies to the Eskimos? He rolls a 1 and begins to laugh. So you can apply the hideous laughter to him. He begins to howl with laughter.
And that's my turn.
Excellent. Ben, you are next.
These Knolls near me, they're all red. That means I try to cast what you call it, and I'll get disadvantage.
Yes.
I'm going to have to move up next to him.
They're not attacking you, but they are still classed as enemies. You're going to have problems moving. So you really haven't got any space to maneuver. Problem.
That means I can't move. I can't attack her.
You've got a halberd, haven't you? Or have you not got it with you?
sorry, that's my fault for not moving.
I'll get my how many? Can I get the halberd out and hit this turn? Or
Yes, but remember to unequip your shield because it's got to reach a 10, so you can give him a poke from there. So equip your halberd because it's a free action, and we'll just assume that you had your shield slung because you were whatever it was you were planning on doing.
Will he be classed as prone?
He's incapacitated.
All right.
So if you attack him at more than 5 feet with a ranged weapon, you get disadvantage if you're prone, which it should take that into account automatically.
so I'm still at a disadvantage then. The attack weapon.
No, not with a melee weapon, only with a ranged weapon.
Right.
So there you are. He falls to the ground, howling with laughter. So are you just keeping the familiars out of the way? So I'll just hide them, yeah?
Yeah, I just I don't get mine into combat unless desperate.
Just I can get shot of the owls and the
Well, I missed
owls.
anyway.
Right, so poking at him with a halberd apparently does not work. Next up we have Knolls. Who are basically just trying to get out of the way. So they back up as far as they can, the one with the broken teeth. And the swollen Knoll, back up as far as they can against the walls. You learned last week it is against Knoll law for Knoll to fight Knoll, although once they're dead, there's nothing to stop people eating them. Sanwin, you are next.
Chromatic orb.
Very good. Shooting under Aisha's arm.
I'm going to roll it between his legs because,
Like a bowling ball. You miss. Obviously shooting past the fire and Aisha's enormous arse and him rolling around on the floor.
Yep, nothing I can do with that.
Yeah. Nod. Oh, that's the Knoll oddly comely, Dave. He winks at you. It's like, All right now, and you're like, he's oddly comely. He backs up. He will back up, giving you space completely. Right, ugly baby blue eye patch. Screams loudly, and then you hear sort of wah, dunk, 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 dunk.
Whoops.
As he is killed to death. Right, so that leaves Isha.
Do we want to kill this guy or not?
Yes.
Everybody else seems to be trying.
All right, then. I will stroll over and whack him.
Right, so he's stepping forward past the fire. He's lying on the floor, yipping and laughing.
Do I get advantage? Or
You
not?
should automatically do it because he's incapacitated. You should automatically get advantage. It's a crit.
Oh, yes.
Bam! Massive hit. He stops laughing and he doesn't find that funny. Doesn't he get another save versus Tasha's, Tracy? At advantage?
The target must succeed in wisdom saving throw before prone, coming out of capacity and able to stand up for a duration. A creature with an intelligence score 4 or less isn't affected. At the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. The target has an advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage. On a success, the spell ends.
Right, the spell has ended upon it. It is still prone, but it is no longer laughing. Although it is laughing, it's just not laughing. And it goes, that wasn't funny. Is that everything you wish to do?
Yes.
Chizka, descendant of Tekali, stands up, so he's no longer prone on the ground. And since you hit him badly, he's going to claw and bite at you, Bracey. So
Fiery stuff.
initially he bites, hits. You go, as you feel his fangs sink into your neck, and you save against poison. It is actually, though, just the fact that he's a filthy carrion eater. And he misses with the second. Dazan, he goes, I've been waiting for this moment. Pulls his hand out and goes, what is his cantrips? Acid Splash he's got as a cantrip.
Or fire. Not a fire.
No, he's got Acid Splash going there. So he goes to cast it, and he goes, die, foul creature. And he holds his hand out, his fingers spread, and then the end of his fingers begin to melt. And he goes, ah! And then they slowly drip, as if his whole body was made of hot wax. The run down his fingers, his arm dissolves, it sinks to the floor and drips. He looks frantically around at you and goes, what's happening? And then he goes, splut, and literally turns into a puddle of goo on the floor.
Nice.
I'll turn round to the Knoll lead and go, didn't see that coming, did you?
Because Dazan has now vanished, Trenta says, my commitment is fulfilled, and collapses into a pile of dust.
So Dazan's dead?
No, Dazan is a pile of goo on the floor.
What?
I have to get him a bucket to live in.
Well, that makes the combat tracker easier.
Certainly
We'll
does.
just spare the
Fucking
dino.
Odo in the party?
Yes. You remember when I rolled those dice last week? And Andy went, he's rolling dice.
Yep.
Dazan,
But
was.
I thought he got made.
He
You
did.
were? Huh?
for a number of hours.
Oh, no.
Pinocchio is now a waxy puddle on the floor.
Oh.
Oh, that's
I'm
terrible.
gonna think it up because I know in future my knowledge isn't strong enough, but I know that scholars of my school are capable of returning people to their former self, and we might be able to do that at some point. So yeah, I'll get them in a bucket or something, stick them in a jar.
Right, there's a loud screaming roar as this guy comes running into the room. He's a handsome looking fella with his black veins and his black eyes there, screaming and yelling. And he's going to go for Aisha on a 1 to 2, Chizka on a 3 to 4, and the and Lantesh on a 5 to 6. Lantesh, so he comes in, apparently not picking his targets, just looks about, froth spraying about, and he runs at you, Lantesh, and attempts to grapple you.
I would have thought he would have went to the head knoll because that would have been the first one.
He failed to grapple, and then he just takes a punch at you, which is deflected by your armour, so he does absolutely bugger all.
Ow! What was that for? I'll say it.
We're back to Corin.
Right. Well, if we're back to me, I think we shall try a little bit more stabbage.
You hit.
There you go. Pick the bones out of that.
Excellent.
Nice.
Now, is there any way that I can move around him so that I can give Dave a bit more space?
Yes, you can move around them as long as you don't
break contact.
Break contact, yes. Because
So-
it's quite a narrow thing. If you go around the bottom way, you'll need to make a DC 10 athletics check or acrobatics. Or you could go up and round past Aisha. But again,
Right.
you'd need to make a DC athletics checks to avoid standing in the fire and taking a couple of points of damage from the burning embers.
Right. Well, I'll go this way.
Okay, give me a DC 10. If you're moving out of reach, the berserker will take a swing at you.
No, I'm not moving out of reach.
So, give me a
hang on,
DC
I've
10 athletics check or acrobatics at your choice. To dodge past the fire, you'll take a point of fire damage if you fail.
Ah.
Right, so you step in the fire and go, oh, bugger, hot, and take a point of damage.
Aya.
But you have danced behind him. Lantesh, it is your turn. You have an extremely angry, crazy-eyed looking man.
Right, I'm going to cast Magic Missile at level 2 at him. Because obviously I'm at a penalty and with him being in melee.
You've got double mage armor again. I didn't check.
Am I alright to cast that at him, or has he got stuff on him?
Oh no, you just cast at him. It's fine. You blast him with force, and he goes and keeps attacking. Is there anything else you wish to do?
If I move, he's going to get an attack of opportunity, isn't he?
Yes, but he's currently unarmed.
Ooh, right. In that case, he's going to punch us anyway, so I may as well move. I'll move there.
So he takes a swing at you, and I'm going to find the little dude. There you go. He hits, he does 4 points of damage.
Little bugger.
Unarmed.
Well, big bugger. Some little big bugger.
Bairn, it's your turn. You've still got spider climb on. Are you?
I has, yeah.
Right, I shall try and whack this all my halberd again.
Excellent. Stab in the knoll, you hit. He's bleeding heavily and says, I'll be reincarnated as the Tekali. You cannot kill me.
Go, axe surge, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
he's moved back there, Dave, to give you space. Yeah, you can action surge, so you can attack again. Another hit. It's a big hit as you go potty, bleeding from several places he is now.
Our tail's swollen to move his off.
Yeah, they'll move out of the way. Where do you want them to go? They'll stay
Out
as
of
far
my way.
back as far as possible. Sandman, it is your turn.
Burn both of them.
Burn both of them with your
Burnness. I'll start on
your burning rear. That one.
Yeah, I'll start on Chisket. Why is the advantage? There's no one in range of us. Oh, I hit still.
He's in melee, so the not you still at disadvantage because you're in close quarters with all of these crazy people.
All right, okay.
There doesn't have to be touching; there just has to be listed as.
I'll shot again instead of doing damage. There's the damage for the first one.
Neither was a crit, so you just do the damage for the first one, do the damage for the second. He's looking badly injured now.
I'll switch target.
And then you go zappy, baby. It's another hit.
Whoa, nice.
Nice.
Heavily
Shot.
injured. Is that your turn, or are you attempting to move somewhere?
Well, will I provoke an attack of opportunity if I move?
He's got no
Not
weapons
at the
in his
moment,
hand.
but you don't really have anywhere to move.
Ah, you say that.
You moved down by Lantesh.
That's all right. I'm going to run on the ceiling next round, so
Yeah,
he's
there.
Okay. So
Sorry, I
the
wanted one back. I went a bit far. Thank
the pile of goo that was Dazan begins to undulate and move, and then screaming, its face screaming, hands coming out of the goo. It randomly attacks all within it.
The hell?
It's on fire because it's on the campfire as well.
Any creature that touches it, yeah, it's in fire, Dave. Any creature that touches it or hits it, so it's touching currently the Berserker, Aisha, Sanwan, and the Null. You're literally standing in the goo that used to be Dazan. So let me do some targeting as you are all standing in the goo. Ew. Right, your footwear begins to sizzle, and then it lashes out with a pseudopod against 1 to 4. So we'll go left to right. So it goes Null, Sandman, Chardlin Berserker, and then Aisha. Chardlin Berserker gets lashed with his pseudopod, and you can see Dazan's face comes up screaming out of the goo, and then, oh dear me. The pseudopod punches, goes into his face and into his mouth and eyes and punches out the back of his skull, and he falls dead to the ground.
Does this mean he's on our side, or is just, oh god, this is...
And that is the end of his turn.
No.
You can see, like you can see by the picture, you can see his face and Dazan's hands and face are all sort of screaming in that, like, the thing kind of way. And next up we have a Null who goes, what the F is that?
He
And
likes fire.
Aisha, you're standing in a puddle of goo.
Right. Oh, God.
Oh, I'll do some fire damage to it as well. But it takes some fire damage. The undulating thing hisses as the fire goes out underneath this waxy stuff, but it does do some damage. So the fire's gone out, and it's now smoky and acidic in here.
Oh, God.
If I move straight to the east, can I move out of the goo without, moving out of
Yes,
range?
if
So
you
it gets
move
a fire.
adjacent to Andy, yes.
Just a step to the left.
And then a jump to the right. Right, so you
Right.
gingerly step out of the goo,
Then I smack the crap out of the knoll.
shaking the poor Dazan off your boot. It makes a noise as you step out of it.
Oh, love.
You hit. And how do you kill Chizka?
I just basically clove straight on the top of his head.
Right, with a
Like an
sickening
exploding watermelon.
Yeah, with a sickening crack, his skull explodes, and a great cry of joy and yips of laughter spring up from the gnolls around. Even though they're terrified and they're trying to get the fuck out of the way. Right, so what else are you doing?
I will target.
Okay,
Let me
what
see
happened there?
who's most badly damaged. I'll target Lantesh and Caster Hill.
Oh, thank you. Blow my kiss. He's my hero.
Hurrah, Lantesh feels better. Lovely. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Noll, the Knolls are trying to get the fuck out of the way. What have you done to them? They're like, what the fuck? Corin, we are back to you.
Right, first thing I'm going to do is take one step to the side there.
Yes?
And shout across to the gnolls, leave, get out.
Yes,
So I've left the doorway open
They
for them.
bloody well will. The poor berserker, first he's caged to be eaten, and then secondly he gets his face punched through by a horrible gooey remains of a Pinocchio boy. Poor dear for it to be a berserker.
Because I don't really want to necessarily attack Dazan. As long as we can find a way of containing him without us stepping in him.
Okay, so
I think we've
are you
got a
just,
choice.
is that your turn then?
Nearly, yes. I just need to equip something.
A
Yes,
bucket?
but yes.
I
Yeah,
think he's
that-
turned into a creature that will kind of. It's not a case of like he's just dissolved. He's actually been changed into something very dangerous.
Is that your turn then, Andy? It's Lantesh up next.
Yeah. No, that'll be me.
Lantesh.
Right, I'm going to climb up onto the ceiling, like run up the wall onto the ceiling.
Yeah.
So I'm out of the way of what's on the ground. And upside down, I'm going to cast Firebolt on the thing.
Yeah, right. You blast it even with disadvantage. It's a big hit.
Nice.
It just sort of goes, there's a sizzle and it goes bloop into the main body of the beast.
Right, and that's my turn.
Okay, so you are 10 feet up. I'll just put you up 10 feet. There you go. Bairn, this was a surprising day,
Gonna have to whack it with my halberd then.
but you don't have to. You strike the creature, doing no damage.
I'll put away my halberd, get my axe and then ready my shield.
Any non-magical weapon made of metal or wood that hits the creature corrodes. So your halberd literally melts, and the metal half, the wood corrodes first, the metal half goes clunk and falls on the floor, and you're left holding a very short stick.
Well, I'll go take and get my axe, battle that magic.
Oh no, sorry. It takes a permanent and cumulative -1 penalty to damage rolls in it. So it's not completely corroded, but it is pitted.
It's still getting dropped.
It is pitted, but it looks like should you continue to strike the creature with it, bad things would happen. Terrible things would happen. So I'm going to now put your bonus to -1 on your halberd. So what do? You drop this halberd, and is that your turn?
And I'll drop the halberd and ready my axe and get my shield out next turn.
Okay. Null broken teeth.
Runs-
Yes, he does. He runs away very, very fast. He does the dash action and runs the hell away.
Can I
And
stick
then,
my foot out at the last minute?
absolutely, I was going to give him an agility roll anyway, but I'm going to do it at disadvantage now. As you stick your foot out, a dex roll, DC 10. Oh, 21. Yeah, he nimbly hops over your foot and disappears around the corner like a Keystone Cop, like at a sharp angle. Null Swollen is stuck behind the creature, but he's going to run for it anyway. He just runs through it, taking more acid damage.
He's a brave lad, that
And
Noel.
then, as he tries to run away, he gets a pseudopod in the back. So I don't think it'll go well for Mr. Null, shall we say. Well, first of all, he takes acid damage. His fur goes sizzle, sizzle. And then, bang, just it's a crit. Oh, shit. Bad things are about
This
that.
is gonna hurt. Oh, hell.
He's got a hole.
Yeah, so he trips and sizzles, his first sizzles, and then there's just a great pseudopod comes out and just punches straight through his back and out through his chest, and he looks down and dies a horrible, horrible death. Well,
Just like the teeth from an alien.
yeah, that's him dealt with. Yeah. Next we have Sanwin. You're moving to there
Yeah, move to that and
out of the acid goo.
burning hands.
I can't actually hurt this thing.
So you burning hands it. You seem to have warmed it up a little bit,
Well, you know,
and then
onions.
onions. Okay,
That's shallot.
get rid of him. He's got special, so I need his doobly doos handy.
I think you could only hurt a man if you used your magical arrows.
Sorry, Dave. You're pulling out your battle axe, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
Next
have
up,
any magical arrows.
it's the pudding. So it's going to go for. It's got a 5-foot range, right? So it's going to go for Lantesh. You're 1 to 2, Salmon 3 to 4, and Aisha's 5 to 6. Aisha, the pseudopod that has killed so many gnolls, lashes out at you and hits. It burns as it leaves a great acid burn across your chest as it lashes you, and that's its turn. Actually, it's quite.
Oh, wait a minute.
Doesn't get multi-attacks, sadly. Oddly comely Gnoll goes, I know the rules. He's already used his reaction and just fucking legs it. If he's used his reaction, he can't attack me with it. And he's out the door.
Do I get an attack of opportunity as he goes past?
He's on our side.
They are kind of on
I'm
your
just
side.
asking.
I mean, technically, yes, if you wanted to.
I think it's funny that he's trying to fucking kill the thing.
Kill the Gnolls on the way out. Aisha, it's your turn.
I'll just stick my foot out.
Your chest sizzles. All right, I'm going to give him a roll then. You just want to see him go plummeting over the top, don't you? I mean,
Kinda.
this could happen. DC 10. No, he goes wah straight over the top and disappears down the
What's
cavern.
that first step? It's a bit steep.
And he dies a horrible death, impaled upon ice spikes at the bottom. Aisha, it's your turn.
I cast Guiding Bolt at level 2 on Pudding.
Very well. Bear in mind you have to hit with it, so you'll be at disadvantage. But it is a hit. Roll your damage.
No, hang on, because I've only got it at level 1. So I'll have
No, you left click and hold to pick it up, right clicked it up at one level and then dump it on him.
I didn't have trouble this time. So what? Left click?
The little damage button,
Yep.
and then it'll pop under your mouse, and then
Yep.
right click once, and that'll up at a level. You'll see a dice added, and then dump it on his token.
Hang on.
12 damage radiant to the pudding, and apply the effect because it has taken some damage as well. And it's not your turn.
No, I then cast Heal on myself.
You can't because Guiding Bolt is not a cantrip. It's got to be a cantrip as your main spell, and then your heal as your secondary one. Bugger, says Aisha.
Right, Guiding Bolt in action.
Yeah.
And
But it's not a cantrip. You can only cast a cantrip.
Yes, sorry.
Like,
yes,
that's why you cast Toll the Dead all the time.
Yes, sorry. Okay, so that's done.
No, Null Vengeful.
I just sit there smoking.
Null Vengeful Man makes a run for the door past Andy.
I give him an evil smile as he runs past us, and I don't do anything to that one.
Okay, so he gets a
But
normal roll.
I could back heal him.
Yes, you could. You could.
He succeeds and disappears round the corner out of the way. This is crazy. What the fuck have you brought into the Null place? And that is the end of the turn. We are back to Corin.
Right. I'm going to have to move a bit because there's only one thing that I've got that will do any damage whatsoever. I can say you, lads. Right.
We're here to save the Null tribe by throwing them off the side of an icy cliff.
Yeah, something like that.
No go if you tripped or sword on us.
Yep, right. Bonus action first. Put the old tosser's mark on the pudding. And now that we've done that, the only thing I think I stand a chance of hurting them with is the longbow, which is why I've backed off.
Oh, it's a hit. It's quite large, so it is quite easy to hit. And yes, the damage does indeed hurt it. The arrow sinks in and sizzles. You lose the arrow, but it does seem to have hurt it somewhat.
Right.
Lantesh, right next to the pudding. The former Dazan, now a puddle.
No, I can get me bloody mouse to move on the bloody screen. Right there it's. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on it.
Very good. It's a hit. The damage as you fire pew-pew lasers out of your fingers.
That's
I
the
like to
first
think of them as
one,
finger
isn't it?
guns.
Rich, did they not get their bonus damage from Tosser's Mark?
No, so it's only a personal damage to you.
Oh, all right. That's yeah. Sorry, it's all right. I don't know why. I've had one of them days.
Or more hits as the creature burns and sizzles away, or what's left of Dazan,
There we go.
the poor creature.
And I'll move a little way south on the ceiling, one spot south.
Okay,
So a little bit further away from the
To
bloody
there.
thing. I don't like being next to it.
Ben.
I shall get my shield out, move, and I will attack it.
You can. Excellent. Do you hit? You hit. Right, you swing your melee. It splatters acid up, hitting the three of you next to it, and then you can do your damage. It's like aliens. Hey, don't blame the DM. Blame the DMG. Right.
Oh, it took damage from magical?
No, the magical weapons don't get corroded to it. You need to find out what kind of weapon will hurt it. So you splatter acid over yourself, Aisha and Sanwan. You sizzle a little bit. Is that your turn, Dave?
Yeah.
I'll shout down to them. Fire seems to hurt it.
So did the arrow. So it must be pacing with Bagislav.
Right, that's Dave's turn. Noel's running. Salmon, you have just been splattered with acid. That deserves a dirty sideways glance if ever I've said one.
That deserves burning hands, is what it deserves.
Once more, fanning burning hands into the madly thrashing creature. Doing damage, but nothing else. Are you doing anything else?
No, because if I move, it'll shoot us through the back of the head. I know it's a trick.
Pudding time. So, Salmon's 1 to 2, Ben's 3 to 4, Aisha's 5 to 6. Aisha again. Pseudopod time. Hits once more, Bracy.
Ouch.
Taking acid damage. Aisha staggers as he's been slapped across the face by a pseudopod. It's a shame this thing only gets one attack around, isn't it? Noel backs off. Aisha, it is your turn, sir.
I will cast Guiding Ball at level 2 again.
It hits. It's got an incredibly awful AC because it's a big puddle. Finally, you blast into it with your guiding bolt. What happens?
It goes pew, it just sizzles and it just goes slumps down. Dies.
Right, okay. It fizzles as the radiant energy blasts in it. Holy shit, Brice, have you seen your hit points? Sorry, point. Right, the creature that was Dazan lies dead on the floor. The null that you came to kill lies dead on the floor. A bunch of nulls lie dead at the bottom of the cavern. What would you like to do? The corpse of the berserker lies there. The corpse of...
That's the dead leader.
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is wander over there and bind Aisha's wounds.
An excellent plan, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, son. Just a second. Right, one of them, and then there you go.
Yes.
You're welcome. And actually, while I'm on,
Yeah.
wait a minute. No. It's all right. No, that's fine. That's fine. And then I'm going to keep an eye on the doorway and cover it because I have a sneaking suspicion there's gnolls out there.
There is.
And if a gnoll sticks its head round that doorway, it's liable to get an arrow in it.
I don't think they're going to dare take it on because they've seen what we can do with these. I think they're terrified.
Right, Dave, it didn't have any weapons on it. It just has its tattered hide armor, which I can pop into the party sheet there. Broken hide armor medium. But he did say that Chizka's room was in the room to the south. And then there's the berserker on the floor and the puddle of Dazan. Poor Dazan.
Is the puddle of Dazan definitely a dead puddle of Dazan?
It is you poke it and things sizzle a little bit, but it is definitely 100% a dead puddle of Dazan.
The only other passageway I can see is no.
No, there's a
turn
door
around.
to the south.
I'll turn around the lantern and say, told you how to avoid them netheries.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm just going to delete poor Dazan. Bless him. So, are you taking the hide armor or are you leaving it, Dave?
We could always take it and bend it for a bit more money.
Yeah.
Let's check his room out then, eh?
And there's the Chardlin Berserker's corpse on the floor and
Yeah, I'm not messing with Chardlin, thanks.
his room.
I'm just thinking, when then designed out, that mean the crow weather over that down Corin gave out as well.
Probably.
Yeah, he melted into an acidic puddle. Right, so you head south into the other room. I'm going to unlock the room so that we're not messing about trying to move because there's basically one more room.
I'm just going to bind me own wounds, I think.
Enable, disable line of sight, enable, disable lighting. So, you should see the room to the south.
Yeah.
when you go and look in that room, painted in blood on the walls of this 8-foot-high cave are pictographs of a towering monster with sharp teeth that wields what looks like a 3-headed flail. Packs of hyenas feed on the corpses in its wake. A small fire crackles near the south wall, filling the cave with smoke. Cooking above the fire is a small green fish, while behind the fire, leaning against the south wall, is a blood-encrusted spear and a fishing pole.
Well, can't say no to a spear and a fishing pole, can you?
One would absolutely say not.
That's the room.
It's a cave, Dave.
Right.
Other than there's some dirty furs, some old fish bones, and a spear and a fishing pole. Oh, and you find assorted coins: 21 gold, 56 silver, and 117 copper, which I will dump into the thing. Are you all leaving the room?
Yeah.
No, I'm staying on guard because I wouldn't trust these bloody gnolls as far as I could spit it.
Well, unless you stop them, the gnolls descend upon the corpse of the now dead Chizka and begin to devour him.
I'm not stopping them. It's just if they start looking at me as like pudding, I'm not having it.
No, so they happily descend upon it and don't seem to be paying you much heed, as it seems to be partially ritualistic, as they are devouring the corpse of their previous leader. And with his mouth full of the gnoll from the tower says, "Thank you. You've saved us from Unigo. We can leave now. We can find females." When he says females, the word's not quite right, but he's speaking broken common. Nobody speaks gnolls, do they?
No.
Just stay away from the cities of 10 Town. Shouldn't come into any problem.
We leave. We need food. We need females to keep the pack going. Otherwise, we will die. We'll try and cross the spine of the world.
Find females, make cubs, eat.
So yes, that is the Cackling Chasm completed.
Right.
And are you doing anything else before you leave?
I bet we'll search the Chardlin dude, but we'll search him with a long stick.
He's wearing, like I said, dirty, raggy, cold weather clothing, hide armor, and the only thing that he has, which is strange on him, looks to be that ring, that big ring he's got with the Frost Maiden symbol on.
We'll take the ring.
Right. You pull the ring off, there's a noise, and you vanish from the spot.
Oh.
What?
You vanish from the spot, reappearing outside a large cave, somewhere you've never seen before. I have no idea where you are.
I look round at where Sanwin was and then I look at Lantesh and I go, he's done it again, hasn't he? Every bloody week.
There's a schlup noise as half a gnoll, the upper torso, sliced off at an angle, goes schlup and falls to the ground next to you.
I look at the gnoll and go, "You all right?"
He dies impromptly.
Was better go in the cave then, better not. You were supposed to have an idea and you went very quiet, I'll say to myself.
Well, that depends. I'm saying if I have some artwork for it, because why would we not do that? Right, so does anybody need a bio while I set this up?
I could do one.
Moving up the causeway towards this enormous wooden bear's head. I'm just going to drag you around so that we're not doing little movements everywhere. And you stand at the top. Nothing yet has happened. Looking at a gigantic wooden bear's head.
That would look amazing in our tavern.
Can we see any tracks or anything in the snow? Anybody think going in the cab, the bear's head?
Yeah, you can give me nothing actually, because tracks in the snow clearly indicate that at least 4 humans have come and gone from the cave since the last blizzard. On either side of the causeway is a steep slope that plunges 20 feet into a snowy ravine. Nothing bad ever happens in a snowy ravine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So you stand outside looking at this bear head, then all looking at Sandman.
I'll look at the bear head. Does it look like it could be articulated or not?
Possibly.
I'll examine it for traps.
Whoa, go you.
Can I help him?
You can. Advantage, hidden, investigation, quest roll. Right, so you carefully examine the bear's head, and it doesn't look like it drops down, and you don't find any tripwires and or blades that spring out, anything that looks dangerous.
Right, we're safe, then let's go.
Right, I'll be right behind you.
I'll move inside and look around. I'm going to be quiet.
I'm going to be positively sneaking.
Right, ahead you see a natural cavern. Wisps of this strange blue smoke wisp out of the tunnel, and as you step inside,
here we go.
You see that the smoke permeates throughout the cave.
I'll put my turban my turban strap over my face, and I will sneak into the cave.
Oh, look at you doing the sneakings.
Hey, I grew up on the streets, man. I'm down with the youth and all that.
And I shall sneak right behind him.
Right, so you quietly crunch through the blue smoke wisping around you, and as you come round that corner at the top there, two set of alcoves are set into the north wall, fitted with rusty iron gates. Their chains, padlocks, and keys lie discarded on the floor. Inside the cells look to be the fragments of something. It ascends to a 20-foot high chamber festooned with icicles. Naturally formed pillars support the chamber's domed roof.
Any chance of a roll to try and work out what sort of somethings these are?
Right, as you approach these, they look like large eggshells, maybe the size of ostrich eggs, a bluey white in colour.
You want to know what they are?
I'm going to give you...
Nature?
Yeah, DC 20 nature check.
Yeah, no bloody check. Right, open roll, or are you sending us one?
Oh, no, just an open roll. You'll know whether you know it or not. It's only the stuff where you don't know whether you succeed or not.
Not a bloody clue.
A big pigeon, Andy.
Boy, lad, they must have big pigeons round here.
Your mouth salivates and you think, I'm going to need a bigger frying pan.
You're not kidding.
Tunnels lead to the north and one to the south.
Go south.
Young man, better than going west.
Okay, so you creep to the south.
Hang on.
And you peer in and it opens. It looks like it opens into a larger cavern, and you see the blue smoke permeating this room as well. It's basically everywhere. Dave, are you heading up to that northern corridor? You see corridors leading in all four directions. And
I'll check for the footprint.
The footprints are all throughout the cave. Earl, you creep forward and peer in. And as you do, I want a contested stealth versus perception role play, because the 8-foot high cave is unfurnished and unlit. A hole in the southwest corner is the mouth of an open chute that reeks of blood and filth. Sitting perched upon two shelves of rock are two small dragon-like creatures.
I've pulled me scarf off over me face, well, like over me mouth and nose.
So can you please roll me an open stealth roll as you creep forward, and I'll roll a pause there.
Me and all?
They have to be, are you following behind Sam?
Aye.
So they have to be a 14 to have spotted you, and as per usual, the DM's rolls are a pile of shit.
Are they dragons?
Yes.
White dragons?
Yes.
Class!
Right, the closest one to you spots you creeping in the corner. The one at the back doesn't.
I say to them in Draconic,
immediately begins to fly towards you.
I will raise my hands up in supplication, say to them in Draconic, my brothers, please. I, as a Dragonborn sorcerer, I get an adjustment to my reaction because I'm nice to dragon. They like.
Do you get advantage, do you?
I don't know. It says I get an adjustment to my reaction. The ability now.
Bloody Earl and his dragon thing, as the dragon just goes to breathe on you. It's a dragon, but it's like a 4-foot dragon.
No, it's worse, Rich. It doubles my proficiency check when applying charisma interact, like persuasion and being friendly. I only have a plus.
You
so
only
have
+4.
So I'm now on a plus.
I'm scared, Earl. I'm scared.
Hello, my draconic brothers.
Can I move up with the rest of the party so I can see what's going on, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. You move into the tunnel. Dave, Corin seems to have frozen in the tunnel. And
not that close.
Sanwin is speaking. Go on then, make your persuasion roll.
I will put my hand behind my back and do the get out of the way symbol. Like wave them back, and I'll start bowing and scraping to the dragon as I persuade them that I am their friend.
Go on, make your persuasion check. I'm sure you get advantage because.
Well, hang on, I'll take advantage.
Just check. I want you to try something, right? Because I've got a mod that lets me do it the shortcut way. So if you hold down Control while you roll a dice, it automatically rolls with advantage. If you hold down Alt, and I don't know if that passes on to the players. It should do.
I don't get advantage. I get double my proficiency bonus.
Oh, right, okay. So you don't get advantage.
I'd go to plus 12.
Go on, roll it and we'll see how you do.
Oh, I don't know how to cheat. You just need to add +6 to this, basically.
It is
18.
A plus 12. Okay, so
No, +6 again.
Oh, so it's an 18. Right, so they leap to the air, but they make noises back. They don't attack. They seem quite calm. They seem to have recognised your draconic heritage, but it's almost like toddlers that can't speak yet or have never been around anyone that can speak.
So they're impressionable.
They fly back but do not attack.
I will take out 2 rations and take the meat out of my rations and put it on the floor as if I was duplicating an offering to them.
Right, so they gobble the rations up while eyeing you warily.
I'll sit on the floor.
They recognise something
absolutely passively.
Something about you, but it's if they're the toddlers who can't speak. You can sense the aggression about them. They've got their muscles bunched, and they look like they were immediately ready to attack, as if by just instinct alone. They don't seem to have developed any kind of social skills yet.
I'll approach slightly more into the room, but not getting too close, and I'll sit down again so they know I'm not a threat.
Right, as you approach this room, it appears to be where they hang out. That tube stinks of fish, and there's bits of offal hanging around it, and they do hiss a warning to you as you try to get a bit.
When they hiss, I'll back away when they hiss.
But they seem to be happy to not charge in and attack you.
Right, I'll say in Draconic, I know they can't understand us, but I'll say in Draconic to them, we will not harm you if you stay where you are. If that will work, whatever, and I'll keep backing away in supplication.
So you and Corin have got your faces covered to not breathe in this slightly worrying fog.
I'll turn around to the rest and go, be careful in there's white dragon. And I don't know how friendly they will be to you guys. My great-grandfather was a dragon.
I'll look round at the rest of the party and sort of hand sign to them to cover their faces.
Press on. I'll keep to the back in case they follow us.
Very well. You have...
That explains the eggs.
That does explain the eggs.
Why were they locked up?
So you have a tunnel ahead.
Can I whisper to Sandwin, since I'm standing right next to him? Do you think their parents are around there anywhere?
I hope so, but they've been badly treating the parents. I mean, the parents would probably want them outside, not cooped up in here. It's not much of a lair, and certainly I can't see a white dragon chaining their children up in cages.
They're not chained up; they're flying free.
But they were the eggs were chained up in those chambers, weren't they?
Yes.
I'll go into one of the cages and take a little piece of dragon egg and put it in my pocket, just the shell.
Because you never know. All you need is a healthy ovum, and then you can clone your own white dragon.
Pretty much.
Oh, Rich, can I do the same? Just from the point of view that Howl might be interested in some dragon egg shell.
You certainly can,
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'll Corin. If you lead, I'll go at the back. But if there's anything we'll bump into to talk to, don't shoot it. Let me talk to it first. But I don't want these getting curious and having a look up the corridor for their new friend and bumping into something edible like everyone else.
Aye, right. Just give us a second. I just need it.
See, right. I don't know what everyone was worried about. It's just dragons are lovely.
Well, you say this.
Yeah, they're sort of the scattered forward and like tearing at the rations you've left behind. Have you knocked your 2 rations off?
I did, yes, because I am a good.
As you don't know where the fuck you are, and you have no sled, so somebody needs to cast Shanks's pony. So you have just the tunnel ahead of you if you're planning on exploring.
Yeah, well, we may as well. I'll lead.
Okay. You don't need to individually move your totems. You can just describe where you're heading for the time being.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I'll kind of catch your totems up.
Right. It's just with this map with line of sight. I can't really see where we're going.
Because Corin only has a little candle. Knock your candle. So
that's a vicious Roman.
There's 4 tunnels lead off from this central section. The one to the southwest has a faint blue light coming from it. The one to the northeast has a torch type light flickering and guttering. And that strange smoke seems to be thicker from the southwest, and then to the northwest it looks like the tunnel goes ahead and then opens into some kind of cavern.
Which way?
To the northwest.
No, I'm sorry, I'm asking the party.
All right.
I'm not going to shout, so I'll just point in the general direction of away from where we were.
Right. Well, let's have a look and see what this blue light is.
Okay, so as you come round the corner, Andy, you guys all following behind? Or are you standing well back and light and blue touch behind?
Follow behind because
hundreds of icicles cling to the ceiling, the 12-foot high ceiling of the Frost Rime chamber, which is bathed in flickering blue light. The light source is a blue flame crackling in a stone brazier that stands against the far wall. The light source is a blue flame. The white smoke that rises above it coalesces every few seconds into the form of a woman, but the image is fleeting. It looks like the stone brazier is part of the floor.
Right.
And the smoke, that whitey blue smoke is thickest in this room.
Personally, I suggest we leave well alone, because if anything goes adrift with that brazier, all those hundreds of icy daggers are going to fall on our head.
Yeah, let's check the other one.
So which way do you head? Northeast or northwest?
Northeast. I'll point northeast.
Who goes first?
Not me.
I'll go first.
Right, Corin, you creep forward, and as you come to this chamber, the ice in this cave is stained pink and red with the blood of numerous kills. In the centre of the room beside a store tray stone tray of butcher's tools is the flayed husk of an owlbear skeleton that has been skinned, gutted, and stripped of meat. Along one wall, metal hooks pierce the ice. A large man in blood-drenched hide armor hangs carcasses from these hooks to bleed it out. His face and limbs are blackened by frostbite, and he also seems to have the spider web of the charling poisoning all over his body. And he seems to be missing a nose.
Right.
How would you know that?
I back up very quietly and whisper this information to the rest of the party.
Okay, he does that. Dave is still wearing heavy armor, as is Aisha.
Do we want to creep in there and do the bloke over? Because I'd like to think he doesn't know we're here yet.
Yeah.
And it does.
The only thing is, we don't know if he's goody or a buddy.
He's a bad. He's good.
And it also occurs to me that there's only the one of him. So why is he hanging all the meat up on the wall? Is he ensuring he's winter larder, or is he feeding something else that's bigger?
Yeah, he's feeding the dragon. Oh, maybe I should try to bullshit with we. Oh, say hi. Was he wearing armor?
Hide armor.
And did he have a weapon on hand?
Well, there's lots of spikes, saws, all sorts of things lying about that could easily be used as a weapon.
Ooh,
And
a
he didn't
spinning
hang
kit.
about too much to examine the room thoroughly.
He's back. Well, do we want him to walk up behind us, or do we want to walk in and lock him in one room? That question. Because he will definitely end up walking up behind us at some point if he's walking around. I'll point back up the corridor that Toscobble came out of, as if to say, let's go and talk to that guy.
Right. Well, do you want to go first if you're going to do the talking?
Yeah, but can someone stay near me so I can withdraw and not get locked in combat like I always do?
Yes.
All of
I
my
shall-
spells
Okay,
require
so where are you going to?
I'm not going to go to the point where I lock the whole group out, so
Well, you
I'll
can
go to
decide
there.
where you're moving to now. So you move to there.
I'll move inside to there. There you go.
Okay, and you creep into the room where the rest of you going
Right.
as Earl moves to this position.
If I move to there, can I still shout up the corridor and people get past?
They can move through you, yes, but you count as difficult terrain by stepping over you. So it costs
Right.
10 feet of movement to step over you.
Well, hang on. I'll have to go over there next to Sanwin.
Okay.
There.
Right, so as you two creep up, what are the rest of you doing? Because
I'm on the ceiling still, aren't I?
Yeah,
Right. I'll be above them.
right, okay. Because they made ridiculous stealth rolls. I'm going to need a stealth roll from you, Tracy. As you approach, the other two made crazy stealth rolls. Hidden stealth request roll. Right, so you enter the room and you stand above Corin, and he hasn't noticed what the rest of you are doing. Well, Ben and Aisha.
I think we could stay here until we hear something happen, and then we can go in there, of course. We're not exactly quiet.
Right, so as you stand there, Earl, you've all crept into the room. He turns around and catches sight of you. He's got those fully black eyes, broken teeth, his skin blackened with frostbite.
In a draconic twang, I will say, "Greetings. Are you the caretaker of the dragon?"
Right, you say that. He grabs hold of a flail down the side of the block,
I shout him.
bellows and charges.
I shout him.
Okay, go on, Andy. You can get a shot, and then he charges Earl.
I can't actually see him, though.
You can't. Oh, that's because he's invisible. There you go.
Right, hang on. Oh, well, we'll do the usual, I suppose. Hang on a minute. Lots of scrolling. Right. Bloody Shardlin berserkers, I don't know. They get everywhere.
They do. You hit the berserker, take thunk, and it takes an arrow.
Okay. Of that.
He does have that, and then he charges at Earl,
Jolly good.
swinging his. Oh, okay. He has a special thing
Right.
that doesn't do anything. Right, he charges at you, Earl, attacks recklessly, so everybody who's meleeing him gets advantage. Swings this massive flail with advantage on your head. That is a hit, and you take some damage. And then the worst thing is, Earl, you feel it leaching into your skin, but you save.
There's a thing keeps popping up here. It says target hidden from attack or attack possible ?
Yeah, it's a stealth mod thing.
It's right. It's just that's fine. It's just a thing.
Yeah, it's a new thing, and it auto added, and I haven't tested it to see what it does yet. Right, so he clouts you with that, Earl, and then clouts you another 2 times with it.
What?
Yeah, it's 3 attacks. He hits again, same damage. Another save versus Constitution success, and the 3rd attack comes in. Missing. That is the end of his turn. Now we can roll initiative.
That's not very nice.
I'll roll for Mr. Shardland Berserker, who gets a 20. Nice.
Oh shit!
I'm going to
Round 1.
Again.
Oh, he goes first. He swings at you again now. Many times. Recklessly attacks again, so that he has advantage. And misses. Second attack. Also misses. He looks at his flail as if there's something not working. Hits with the third one, doing damage. And you are poisoned.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, it gets better, doesn't it?
I'm on 1 hit point. I'm poisoned. Excellent.
He rolls a 2. Right, on the plus side, that's his turn.
Oh, great. Burn
Salmon,
hand.
it's your turn. Why don't you run away and give him a...
No, I can't. I'll just have to burn him. I'll have no choice. Burn an hand.
You guys at the end of the corridor hear this fracas. You burn him. He goes, ow! And grins broadly at you. Is there anything else you wish to do?
Yes, I will whistle. I will say, get in here quick. I'm about to go down. Again.
For a change, Ben, you are next.
I think I'll have to wait until Isha moves.
You can move through him, but it's a penalty. Well, I mean, technically you shouldn't because he's huge, but you can move through him using 10 feet of movement if you want.
I won't be able to hit. I won't be able to attack that bloke next turn after.
And that is my problem because...
I'm just going to wait until Isha moves.
Okay, so you're going to hold your movement until Isha moves.
Yeah.
Okay, Corrin, it is your turn next. He's in melee range.
Right, can I still put an arrow in him?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll put an arrow in him then.
Yeah, you'll be at disadvantage, but you can still shoot him. Doesn't matter. The Corrin shoots him at point blank range.
Doesn't say, and the other guy will also...
Bang, 20 points of damage. Take that.
Do that more.
And then can I swing around him to make room for the rest of the lads?
Yes, you can.
Right, so
You
if
dance
I go,
around him.
Right, if I go to there...
No problem. Isha, you are next. Salmon is screaming like a scalded cat once more for a change.
Me.
I will cast Guiding Bolt on level 2 again, because I've got line of sight.
Okay.
Yes.
You will not be able to heal, remember. It hits. You've got to be low on spell slots. Ooh. It's heavily damaged.
And then I move out the road so Ben can get past. If I go there, like hug that corner, and he get past.
Yeah, Ben, it's your movement.
True.
Right, but you don't get to attack because you held your action. You held your movement. You can't hold your whole round. So, Lantesh, it is your turn.
Pussy balls.
I'm going to cast, because he's heavily damaged, isn't he?
Oh, he's heavily damaged. Not as heavily damaged as some, though. Isn't that right, El?
Ow.
I'm going to cast Firebolt at him.
You hit.
Hit, do I?
Oh, no, you miss. Oh, sorry, you missed.
Missed.
You missed. Is that everything?
Was it advantage because he was using reckless attack?
No, that's only on melee attacks,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
All
I'll
right.
double check for you. Did you tell us here? Sorry, no. Attack rolls have advantage, so it's all attack rolls. Any attack roll has advantage.
Do I roll another
So roll
D20 then?
another to hit, yeah. So I'll put an effect on him.
Oh, yeah.
Critical, nice. Right, I'm putting an effect on him. There you go. Reckless attack. Blam. 13 fire damage. He's only heavily injured, though. He hasn't gone down.
All right, that's my attack.
I mean, this in, that's all right, isn't it, Earl? But, like...
I'll turn out Lantesh and go, yeah.
See ya. He goes next and pounds Earl into the ground. He recklessly attacks again with his Chardlin flail. He misses. He hits.
Bye.
Yeah, Earl goes down and begins to die, leaving him one attack. So he will next attack Andy.
That's not nice.
He misses. Salmon. Okay.
I'll bleed whimper.
Salmon plates out. Ben.
Hit him!
I shall attack this berserker bloke.
You hit, doing 8 damage.
And I'll move.
Okay. Where do you move? You move around a little. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Corrin.
Right, I'm going to risk the same thing again.
Hits. Right. You shoot an arrow into his throat, and he draws his last breath. And the smoke that surrounds the cavern, you see it flowing in through his nose and his mouth. It's like a vacuum sucking it up. And then he roars
Lovely.
and keeps going. And it's like your turn.
Oh, look.
You can literally see the smoke coalescing. Like, you know, when a vacuum would suck up smoke, it's pouring in through his nose and his mouth like that. Are you doing anything else? You have a bonus action, but you're maintaining your tosser's mark, aren't you?
Yes, I have a bonus action, but I don't really have a lot I can do with it.
Not yet. Very well. Isha.
No.
Isha's, your mouse has gone crazy. Racy.
Yep, I know it's going weird.
Like, it's off the bottom of the screen.
I don't know
470
why.
feet. Right, okay. Salmon lies on the floor, bleeding.
Right, I am going to I'm just reading some cast War Priest,
Okay.
and then I'm going to charge her in the corner and smack him twice.
The Geordie Vicar spell, War Priest.
Okay,
Vicar
so
light.
you use Wall Priest, not a problem. We'll take that off, and then you run around. Go on then. get smacking, son. It bounces off his almost non-existent armor. It hits. With a sickening thud, it crashes into his skull. Once more, the smoke pours into his mouth. He roars again.
Roy's got any heat.
Yeah, you've smashed half of his skull in, and the smoke is pouring into his mouth, and now the hole in his skull.
Try and knock him out next time.
All right, I've got an idea, chaps. You might have to keep him busy.
Get rid of the smoke.
Lan Tesh.
Yeah.
Can I make a medical roll on Sandman?
You'll have to come down to the floor.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You come down to the floor, and then you make a medical roll. DC 10 medical roll to stabilize.
Are you request? Have I got to just drop a...
Just roll it, but you'll know whether you kill Earl or not. Yay. Earl, here, you have the stable effect, son.
Hey,
You're now
I'm not
unconscious.
bleeding out. I'll snore.
And do you want to do anything for your bonus action, or?
Move back up onto the sea then.
Okay.
Just because I can.
Spider
Sergeant and Berserker
20.
sets about Andy.
Yeah, you
Recklessly attacks. Let's take the unconscious mark off him. I need to keep that effects window open, don't I? Reckless attack, motherfuckers! Right, he swings at you 3 times, Andy.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Misses the first turn. Misses the second turn. And finally hits, doing a small amount of bludgeoning damage. And you feel the... your tosser's mark's expired. And you feel the poison of his Shardlin flail leach into you.
Yeah.
But you succeed and are not poisoned. He grins a broken tooth grin at you. Sanwin is unconscious. Ben, you hit him. Right, you smash him with the axe. The smoke pours into his lungs. He roars. He keeps going. Bits of him are coming off. He will not go down. You're like literally chopping chunks off him, Dave. Half of his face is caved in off Bracey's Warhammer.
I'm going.
By all means, continue to hack away. Is there anything else you want to do?
Can I try a grapple attack?
You can, but that takes an attack, and you've just been hacking away at him. He grins at you. Like what passes for black blood dribbling over his face, just laughing at you. Right, Corin.
Right, I'm going to disengage.
Yeah.
10 feet of movement to get through Dave.
Yeah.
So that's, hang on, 15, 20, 25 to there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go and sort that smoke out. Keep him busy. And I'm going to change weapons while I'm running.
Not a problem.
So hang on. It's quick.
So, Aisha, it's your turn. Earl can't do dick. He's not going to die, but he's unconscious.
Right. I want to try and make a grapple attack on him.
Okay.
So he can't attack with his flail. And what I want to do is, if I grapple him, I want to pick him up and walk him out into the corridor, out of the smoke.
The smoke pervades everything inside the chamber. The only place you haven't seen any was just outside the bed, or where it was just wisps of it.
Okay, then, well, I'll just try and grapple him so he can't attack with his flail and start hitting people.
Okay, well, a grapple attack. No, hang on, you're going to have to re-roll that because he keeps marking him as unconscious, even though he can't be unconscious. Right, try again, grapple him again. Right, you have grappled him. You grab hold of his arms.
Right, whatever you're going to do, Corin, do it quick.
What are you doing now?
Can I, slam him down on the ground and get on top of him so he can't get up or do anything?
You can, but not this turn. You've just got him grabbed.
Yep, it's okay.
Okay, so you've got hold of him. You've dropped your weapons because you're using both hands now. So you've got no weapon and no shield, so make sure your shield's unequipped. Lantesh.
Firebolts again.
Okay, you fire a fireball at him. Go ahead. Excellent shot. You blast a hole clean through him. You can see it go in his ribs, and yet once more the smoke flows in through the hole, and he keeps going.
So he's still there. Yeah. Oh God. But that's my turn.
New round. He attempts to break grapple. He's dropped his flail for the moment, but he does attempt to break grapple. Fails the first time. He gets to use 3 attacks, so he will just keep attempting to break it. And with a mighty heave, he heaves you free, Aisha, and then headbutts you clean in the face.
What a bastard.
Yeah, headbutts you in the face. You take 4 points of damage. So these are quite strong.
Not very nice.
Not very nice at all. And then he stands up again. Salmon blades. This nobody will hail the poor man. Ben.
I will try and grapple this bullet blow.
Okay. Do you know how to grapple? It's on the bottom of your character sheet on the actions tab. Just press the grapple button if you've got them targeted, or you drag and drop like anything else. So you can just press the grapple button. You fail to grapple. His unnatural strength seems to be winning. Corin.
Right, I am going to employ the dash action.
That makes perfect sense to me, sir. Right, so you run into the room and stand right next to the brazier. Now that you're close to the brazier, you can see that it is inscribed with the symbol of the Frost Maiden, and the stone is like as if it's grown out of the stone floor.
Right. And the smoke's coming out the top of it, isn't it?
There's a blue flame with the smoke coming out of the top, yes.
Right. Right. Do I presume that this flame is magical?
It looks magical. But as you get close to it, it's burning, but not burning hot, burning cold.
Right. Can I, as a bonus action, whip me cloak off and put me cloak over the top of the brazier?
You
like a fire blanket.
You put your cloak over the top, and it immediately burns a hole straight through it and catches fire as if it's insanely hot. Like a plasma flame.
Right.
Your cloak catches fire.
I was fond of that cloak.
Okay, next up we have Isha.
I try and grapple him again.
You fail because of his massive strength. Are you doing anything else as a bonus action?
No, there's nothing I can do. I'll just try and keep him occupied.
Very well. Lantesh.
Do another firebolt, I suppose. Just keep chipping away.
It's literally having no effect. You've seen him being cut by blades. Every time you put him down, he breathes in the smoke and it does nothing.
Blow the brazier apart.
Andy, you look at this brazier, right? And like I said, it's almost as if it's grown out of the stone itself and the flame is burning like a plasma flame.
Can I put the flame out with prestidigitation?
No, I'll give you that as a free, buddy. Don't you have a healing potion or something to give poor Earl?
No, I haven't got any.
Andy gave you on the last time.
No, I gave it to Aisha when he was dying. I stuck it down Aisha's neck. I've done all I can to help. I've got no healing. I've stabilised him. Get the blanket out my backpack and with mage hand, put the blanket over the brazier and try and...
The brazier is more than 30 feet away. Your mage hand can only move 30 feet.
Whereabouts the brazier in the room?
It's not. It's in the blue room where Andy is.
How far away do I reckon that is?
You remember it was past the crossroads?
It's about 60 feet away.
I'll head out towards... I'll do a dash towards where Andy is. Not sure which way I'm supposed to be going because he moved us in, yeah.
Right, so you move out of there.
60 foot for us, right? Are you moving us?
No, down the corridor, 5, 10, 15, 5. Are you dashing? Or just walking?
Just do the 60 foot, that'll be my turn.
I'll
go and help Andy because obviously hitting this bugger's not doing much good.
Right, Andy, you see Lantesh come running around the corner on a wall or on a ceiling or something. You're looking at this brazier, Andy. You do not think you have any means of physically extinguishing it or damaging it. It's solid stone and it's got magical snowflake glyphs on it. And anything you put near the flame, it instantly burns. You're like, it nearly had your finger off the first time. You're like, oh, you bugger. So we're back to the Charlton Berserker, who starts punching at Bien because he has no weapon. But he does, because of his strength, do 4 points per time. So that's good. So he does 40, Dave. Punching you in the nose once, twice, misses, third time, misses once more. His flail's on the floor. It looks like he's going to try and grab for his flail. Salmon blades. Ben, it is your turn.
I will try. Can I try and knock him out with a punch or?
You can try. You can basically do a weapon. You can do a weapon attack and then see you do non-lethal damage.
I do a weapon attack, non-lethal damage.
Okay. You strike him. You clock him on the side of the head. His eyes roll into his head, and as he begins to collapse to the floor, the smoke flows back into his body and he wakes up once more, roars with anger and fury, and he's going to slowly punch you to death, Dave, as he wakes up again.
I'll do my second wind. Get that then.
Okay, you get second wind. Next up we have Corin.
Right, I stand out the way. I've got nothing. I've tried. It doesn't look like I can do anything. Yeah, I'm going to have to, because it doesn't look like I can do anything to damage this brazier. So, I suppose, hang on, I shall set off back the other way then.
Yes.
Hang on, wait a minute.
Right.
And that's 20, 25. I'm dashing all the way back again.
Keystone Cop, going on your side around the corners. I love how it goes, whee, as you rush back towards the room. The Charlton Berserker looks like he's dropping to bits, but it will not go down. Isha.
Right, I kind of cocked up last turn because I thought I was out of spell slots. I'm not. I've got one left. I will heal. Cast Healing Words on Earl.
Okay. Hurrah! Earl wakes up.
I'm going to stay down on the floor and play dead.
And then I'm going to try and grapple this Berserker again.
Okay. You have grappled him. So now what do you do with him?
I'm going to try and basically get him on the ground and glide on top of him and tell everybody to pile on.
Well, the problem you seem to be having is that while he's in the smoke, he is invincible.
Toss him out of the cave. I'll say
I've said that, but the smoke's all the way down, isn't it?
Yeah, but out of the cave entrance to outside.
Well, that's what I meant. That's the first thing I said I was going to do. Pick him up and take him outside the entrance.
Yeah.
But the smoke's all down the corridor, isn't it?
Yeah,
The smoke,
but it's not
the
outside,
smoke
is
is everywhere inside the caves, but not past the front of the bear. I said, not past the bear head.
Ah, right.
So we've got to get him all the way outside.
Well, if you exit the cave, he's bound to follow to attack, isn't he? To finish it
Well,
off?
you can grapple and you can assist each other, remember, with the help action.
Yeah. All right. I'll try and carry
Drag him.
out,
Earl, have you got
drag him,
Player's
carry
Handbook?
him
Because
out.
I don't think I actually have one.
I have one, yeah.
Just to say, I think you can you drag somebody at normal speed or is it half speed?
I believe it's normal speed, but I'm looking it up
Right,
now.
so
if you
you-
carry on, I'll find out.
The pair of yous dropping your weapons, 5, 10, 15, because you're moving through cobble, 20, 25, 30. So you can drag him to there while grappled. Corin, you see a strange sight as Aisha drags this guy past you while he's biting and kicking and punching at him. And that is your turn, Lantesh.
I start whistling the Blue Danube balls.
The brazier. Right now that I'm coming to that room there where the brazier is. Can I have an Arcana roll for trying to decipher what the runes mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Technically, you can move at full speed, including dash, as long as you consider you're dropping it at the end of your turn.
So can you move while holding the grapple?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can drag someone
Give
around
me
with
an
grapple.
Arcana roll then, Lantesh.
What do you want? All right, okay.
No.
Your speed is half, Rich.
20. Right. You look at the runes and your eyes widen. This is bad shit. This is like divine magic, as in magic straight from a god.
Oh, right.
We have already pissed her off, so.
As in, saddle up, we are leaving.
So, what do you want to do? This would probably explain Corin's burnt cloak and lack of ability to damage it or put it out.
Right. I wish I had dispel magic. Not that. I mean, it mightn't have much of an effect if it's
Or even
God-made
web.
item.
Web would be great right now. Just web the dude up and drag him out.
I know.
Yeah, you're literally your eyes
I'm
wide
going to
and
throw
you go,
one of my furballs
shit.
out my bag and say, "Go help get the Chardolin out of the cave."
You get a 4, which is a boar.
Ooh, we've got pig, we've got bacon sandwiches at least.
Bacon sandwiches, lads. Yeah, so behind you, you hear the squealing and grunting of a boar, Aisha.
Okay.
Which is, for some reason, unfriendly, which it's not. It's friendly. There we go. Sui! As a boar appears behind you. And that is Lantesh's turn. Boar is next, and it can't really get past you, so it just sort of stays there, looking menacingly at the Charlton Berserker. It is the Charlton Berserker's turn, and he is going to attempt to break grapple, and then headbutt you again, if he can break the grapple. Fails to break grapple, he can use a second attack. Fails to break grapple a second time, attempts the third time. Wow, what a bunch of rolls. Fails to break 3 times. He strains against your mighty strength, but fails, Bracy. Sanwin, you're lying on the floor. Everything hurts again.
Ow, ow, ow. Right, not much I can do, because I'm not about pushing people around, so I'll have a look around in here.
Right, so you're looking into the back, it looks like there's a larder. Shallow trenches carved in the stone floor are filled with snowpack. Clean haunches of meat, and nestled in these trenches, a lot of meat. Like a whole lot of meat.
Mm-hmm.
And you see an opening towards the back in the west corner as well. Yeah, Ben.
I will help
Yeah.
Aisha.
So you're using your
Sorry,
whole action to help Aisha, that's fine. Corin.
Right.
Corin, as usual, caught with a sandwich in his mouth.
Yeah.
Nose upon a haunch of yeti or rat or whatever the hell it is.
Danwin, we're leaving, and I shall scoop up Aisha's dropped weapons.
You see that there's a Chardolin flail lying on the floor and also standing against the back wall 2 Chardolin javelins.
Right.
Don't seem to be doing these guys the world of good.
I shall collect those, making sure that I'm not making skin to Chardolin contact, and drag everything off back down the corridor.
Yeah, Earl didn't have Chardolin skin contact either. He just had it in his pocket. And even that tiny small piece seemed to be affecting him.
Yeah. But I'm only intending to keep sort of hold of it till we get outside.
Okay, Aisha?
Drag out towards the cave mouth again.
Excellent. Go on then. You can move your full 30 feet. Although he can dash, can't he?
He could technically dash, yes.
But then he automatically leaves go at the end of his turn.
He automatically drop the end of his turn. If he
Yeah, so you could
So if
you
he's
could
gonna-
dash outside.
and drop him off a cliff.
No, I'll just do that one now. 30.
Right, so you end your turn inside. So you still have an action. He starts to struggle and looks panicked at this point.
He's going to look even more panicked in a minute.
Can I do a melee attack and try
It's
near him or anything?
there's still smoke here. It's outside past the bear head.
Yeah, but if I can...
Because if you dashed and dragged him outside, he wouldn't be in the smoke anymore.
No, but there's no guarantee that.
And then anyone else who goes next, such as Lantesh and the boar.
All right, okay then. Can I change that to dash then?
Yeah.
And dash outside?
Yeah.
So that's another
30 feet, and he'll come with you, but then you automatically lose your grapple at the end of the turn.
If you go dead straight from there, you end up right on the edge of that sort of cliffy bit, and you could just leave go and high him off.
Yeah, can I do that? Can I throw him off?
That is technically a shove attack, so I will allow it, as you are both teetering on the end, and I'll let you do a shove attack against him. And if it succeeds, he's not. He's grappled, isn't he? That's why. Right, try again. I've took the grapple off him temporarily because you've let go at the end of the turn anyway. Now it's you can shove him 5 feet or prone.
This is Sparta. Kick him off.
Yeah, so Aisha Sparta kicks the berserker. He staggers backwards, waves his arms, windmills, and then screams as he tumbles backwards, crashing to his death on the rocks below. Excellent. You're out of combat.
Right. So I presume... I gave Aisha his weapons back.
Yeah.
They're heavy, then, I see.
As he picks him up with one hand.
Yeah, and he's also carrying 3 Chardlin weapons.
Yeah, which I dump on the floor and step away from.
So, where else you go now as we are out of combat? There is one corridor to the northwest you haven't explored, and Earl has gone into the pantry. Earl, you see a chasm down and then another chamber opposite.
I'll sneak down and have a look down the chasm.
Right, the chasm falls for quite some distance, easily enough to kill you, but in the room opposite you see the chasm's 10 foot deep. A frost plank to the south crosses from the corridor into the main room, and it looks like there are 4 large-sized sleeping bags in the room opposite.
Okay.
Time we left.
I'll go back to see the chap.
To see the what?
The chap.
Right, you all congregate. You've explored the map.
Yeah,
I'm going to unlock the map for you again, except I've just accidentally closed it, so you will bear with me. Yes, I am a fucking genius.
So I presume we're all congregating outside just by the bear mouth.
Well,
where do you
I
want to
think we
congregate?
shouldn't do that. I think we should nick the sleeping bag and grab the food, because we don't know where we are, and until we know where we are, we're kind of screwed.
Can I send my back eye right up? See how far.
You can do that, Dave. He's only got 60-foot blind sight. You're in the mountains. You can't see any landmarks that you are familiar with. Right, I've unlocked the map and turned the lighting off. So that's the single chamber with all of the sleeping bags in. What do you do right now? It's important that I know what you're doing.
I would like to see you search the room with the backpacks and the sleeping bags, and we'll nick them and the food.
It will take about 20 minutes to search.
You can drag them outside and search them, because I don't want to be breathing this shit in all day.
Yeah, I think we should maybe grab those 4 sleeping bags, and we'll do any searching we need to do outside, and we'll just leave, I think, because if we've found one berserker, and if there's 4 sleeping bags, there's other 3 somewhere, and I don't want to be here when they come home.
What if one of those berserkers is the one that was captured? We might be able
Possibly.
to follow those tracks towards Bacon Chasm.
Yeah, that's a point. That's a very good point, in fact.
You know the brazier, Richie?
Yes.
It looks like it's got little legs. Is there any way it could be dragged out of this cave
No, it's
area?
as if the stone itself has been shaped into those legs. It's part of the floor.
All right, okay. I'll make a note of the I'll copy the runes off the brazier into like
Yeah.
a notebook and
Very
that.
bad
And,
mojo, that
yeah.
thing.
Because I want to do some research on that at some point. First time I've come up against something that's potentially being made by a god, other than that nethril stuff that I've just come across. But you never know. I might be able to work out how that actually worked. How what made this brazier tick. So anyway,
you've got a 20 on your arcane check. It's powered directly from a god.
Yeah.
It's literally channeling the god's power. That's why when Andy put his cloak on it just burnt through it like it was tissue paper.
Passes his Chardlin mace a second.
So you get his
Very nice,
Chardlin
yes.
flail.
Yeah, I'll chuck it in the fire. Let's go.
Right, it begins to burn. You grab the 4 sleeping bags.
Yeah.
And run like hell.
and
Yeah,
run like hell.
And a large amount of that food, as much as we can carry.
Right, well, there's 80 pounds of it.
We'll have it.
I'm going to drag the parcel because literally anything you don't carry with you, like the hide armor or the fishing rod or the silver spear, is left as you flee because you don't have your sled with you. So if people want to take stuff, you need to take it with you.
Silver spear?
Yeah, the spear that you took from the knoll turns out to be a silver-tipped spear.
While we're outside, you wouldn't be able to detect magic on all this stuff, would you, Lantesh?
Yeah, that'll take 10 minutes.
Take us about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think. We'll get. Wait a minute. Let's have a look at the note first.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying the spear, Rich.
Right, Corin, luckily, as you're outside through the gloom, you see the flickering of a torch, and in the flickering torch, it's several hundred feet away, looks like 3 humanoid figures carrying a large bundle heading straight towards you.
I point, and we then head in the opposite direction.
Yeah, let's get out of Dodge. Let's see what we can carry. Hide armor.
I'll take the spear. But
I'll take the fishing rod.
Right, but I can't say it in the party sheet.
You'll have to you scroll down with your mouse wheel.
Yeah, and it just goes down to unidentified item.
It'll be the unidentified item. Then hang on. There you are. How's that?
Right, champion. Yes, hold on a minute.
It doesn't need identified. It's a silver spear, so it does hits things that need silver weapons. Right. So how much meat is people grabbing?
I'm looking how much I can carry without slowing
As
down.
much as I can carry.
Bracey's got ridiculous. Bracey can carry the whole
we'll,
lot.
We'll take it all. Let's go. Just take it all.
So you basically get one of those sleeping bags, right? Fill it full of meat, and Bracey slings it over his shoulder. Right.
What the hell's a hook? Oh, all right. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, there's a strange hook on the end of that fishing rod, but yeah, not sure what's up with it. Are you leaving the broken hide armor, or is somebody carrying it? Bracey has got ridiculous carrying capacity, so Bracey can carry. Bracey's carrying 144 out of 450. So Bracey just loads all of the meat into a sleeping bag and drags the whole fucking lot over and dumps it on his carry sheet.
Just put everything in a sleeping bag and drag.
Right, I assume we're getting out of Dodge and not just ambushing and murdering these people, right?
No, we're legging it.
Leg away.
That is completely fine if you want to ambush them. I'm 100% behind that.
No, I just wondered if that was an option. We need to find out where we are, so let's get
right. So the broken hide armor from the knoll. Has somebody got that, or have you left it?
I'll take
it. But when we get somewhere safe, can I bind Sanwin's wounds for him?
You can. Remember that you haven't had a rest yet, either. Because Sanwin said it'll be fine. The answers will be in the cave.
How though do I bind Sanwin's wounds when we're out of combat?
You can just drag the effect and drop it on him on the combat tracker.
Right.
I'm just checking that everything's gone. Yeah, everything's gone. Right.
Hold on, I shall do that now before I forget. Right, Hale's kit that.
Right. So Andy, you're the Pathfinder. To the east, directly to the east, are mountains. To the south are mountains, and to the northeast and all the way around northwest is snow. So which way do you head? Through the mountains, or give me a compass direction?
Hold on a minute.
You are running because like these guys are coming.
Sorry, I'm just putting my map up again. Right, can you repeat that again, please? Sorry.
So there are mountains mountains to the south, southeast, and southwest. There's also this continuation of the mountain to the west. But you can go, no, I'm fucking confused there. Southwest, south, southeast, and east are mountains. Every other direction is like snowy plain.
North.
Right, so you head straight north as fast as your little legs will carry you.
Northwest.
Northwest, okay?
Eastwood might be better.
Eastwood goes into a mountain, Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
So did Catlin Chasm was mountain?
Yeah, but you're not at the Catlin Chasm.
Yeah,
you are literally nowhere you've ever been before.
We're probably in the spine of the world somewhere, and everywhere we know is northwest from here.
Yeah, just go.
Good plan. So you run northwest into the snow, bloody wounded, out of spell slots. You don't have your tent with you because it's on the sled. You'll have to roll for exhaustion as you roll up tonight. Oh dear, it's not looking great.
It'll be fine.
So you stagger as far as you can for a couple hours, collapse exhausted into the snow, and then you're going to try and take a rest, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and make camp, and I've got enough sort of torch bundles and rations and huddles and stuff, and hate salve if we need it.
Oh, could make a snow hole again.
Good point.
It was out the worst wind.
I wish I'd stopped rolling dice.
Well, I have to roll encounters.
No, you don't. You really don't.
So, what I need you to do
Here comes the polar bear.
I need you to make as a survival roll, then, since you're trying to build an igloo.
I will help him.
I'll help him.
Not an igloo as such.
A 4 Oh, good.
Hang on.
Just to cheer you up, I've just rolled on the weather table and a storm's coming in as well. So there's it's not quite a blizzard. A heavy snowstorm starts to flutter down upon you.
Lovely. What did I have to roll?
A survival roll to build an igloo.
With advantage because we'll help.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
But
Build
not
a
guidance
snowball.
because you don't deserve guidance. Oh, there's Bracy chucking guidance on you.
Thank you very much. There we go. A snow hole.
Oh, it's good. A 19. Corin digs out quite a snow hole. Like everybody's bloodied apart from Lantesh. And you spend a terrifying night in the snow hole and will determine what happens to you next session. However, you level up.
Oh, that's handy.
And, no, Dave, as you're the most susceptible, you receive a message, a sending message. The voice sounds like warm honey dripping off a spoon. And it says, darling, the Kardok has asked me to send you a message. He has captured a Duergar leader, the son of Zardarok. And apparently, in a 10-day, the invasion of 10 towns is about to take place. The professor said what is left of Zardarok, of Zardok's son, has revealed that the location of Sunblight is on the map, and there's a special way to view it. You can reply if you want.
I'll tell him we're lost in the snow. We need help. Get news.
Okay, it's not a conversation. She sends you a message. It's a female voice that sounds like warm honey. You have never heard it before, so you desperately send that message back.
And that's who it is.
Earl,
Yes.
stepping out of your body, you see someone that looks distinctly like Dean Stockwell, except with white hair and a white coat. And he says, old boy, it seems that we've been together long enough now that we can probably talk together. Have you told all of the rest of the party this?
No, I
Dave?
haven't told them. Oh,
The message, Dave.
Yeah, tell them this message.
Right, Dave has received a sending because apparently he's slightly more psychic than others. So this fellow in the white hair and the long coat, he says, if I may be so bold, would you mind getting that map out, and could I borrow your nose somewhat?
oh, not at all. I'll get the map out.
So Earl pulls the map out, and you feel him step back inside you, Earl, and he goes down the map and he goes, see, I don't know maps, but what I do know is plants. And I thought I could smell something on this map. There's some kind of special ink that must only be visible under a certain light. And I'm not sure what kind of light would be available to dwellers that live underground. I mean, we've looked at it under torchlight, so it probably can't be that. But that ink smells of some kind of mushroom.
Ultraviolet.
Right, I will. Wait until we're in the total. I need to try to read it with dark vision in the dark. I suspect it might luminesce in the dark to dark vision. If it doesn't do that, then I can use prestidigitation to try different lights.
Can you make different lights?
It says you can make light. What kind of light?
He says, well, presumably if it's from some kind of underground plant,
It'll be a luminescent quality.
that suggests to me there'll be some kind of bioluminescence that would work. I knew there was something about that map. It was the smell, you see. This knows mushrooms. Earl's sort of looking at the map and occasionally looking up as if there's somebody there, but he's not saying anything and he's looking a bit weird. But I mean, this party's completely weird. And as you huddle in your hole, that is where we draw tonight's game to a close, but you can level up.